So cluster 10 is on inequalities. By the end of this cluster, which is a pretty short one, we have to be able to write inequalities, we have to be able to solve inequalities, and we have to be able to graph inequalities. So those are the three main things. None of them are crazy difficult though, especially if you've been doing well with the last few things we've done. So to start with, an equation uses an equal sign to show that both sides are equal, right? We just got done doing equations. Equations use equal signs. An inequality shows that both sides may not be equal. It uses an inequality sign. So when you do the inequalities, the sides are not always necessarily going to be equal to still be true. You know, like just for example, if I have, just to use numbers only, if I have 1 is less than 4, is that true? Yes. Yeah, that's true. 1 is less than 4. But are both sides equal? No. So you see what I'm saying? It's just going to show that both sides are not equal or might not be equal. So we got to know which words mean which symbols. At some point, you're going to get sentences, and you're going to have to write inequalities from those sentences. That means you have to know which way is the correct way for things to face. When you read from left to right, don't you? So greater than, if we go from left to right, that means the big part needs to be on the left. Everybody see how that works? Less than, again, going from left to right means our pointy part has to be on the left. Greater than or equal to, we have a greater than symbol. That shows the greater than part. The or equal to part is shown by a line underneath it. Same idea with less than or equal to. You got a less than symbol with a line underneath it. Elementary school, did y'all use the or equal to at all? Not really? Yeah. Yeah, my guess is it was probably mentioned but not really used, okay? We're going to use it a lot more. Something I want you to add underneath this. Greater than or equal to. And we'll get maybe some more terms for these, but greater than or equal to is at least. If I tell you to go grab at least 3 markers, you need 3 or more, right? So greater than or equal to. And less than or equal to can also be used as at most. Same idea. If I say grab at most 3 markers, that'd be 3 or less. Everybody got that? Are there other words that mean each of those things? Yeah. Those are like the big ones, though. We'll get the others as we get to that sort of stuff. All right, y'all go ahead, do those 4. This should be that easy. Don't make it difficult. Just get the inequality symbol on each one. All right, so let's make it a little more challenging. You have to say the correct one. Not which way the little alligator's chomping or anything like that. You have to use the correct word. Sarah E., first one. 4 is less than 9 is correct. Second one, Ford. Greater than's correct. Jeremiah, third one. Less than is correct. And Robert. Less than. You'll notice none of them have or equal to. It looks maybe like it a little bit when you write it in there because of the line for the blank, but none of those are or equal to for right now. With numbers, when it's just numbers, you don't see that too often with an or equal to part. You see it more when we get to the variables and that sort of thing. All right, so then we use the variable as the starting point when reading inequalities. So if the variable is the starting point, it's got to go first. Everybody clear on that? So you see right here, I have 6 less than or equal to x. Everybody got that? Everybody see what I'm talking about? We need that x first. That means then the 6 would be at the end. Everybody clear on that part? Easy enough, right? We just kind of flip it around. Now, here's where it gets tricky. The inequality sign. Right here, that's less than or equal to. What do I need right there? For these to be the same thing, I need that to be greater than or equal to. Okay? So if we look where I circled, if we go back to our little alligator for the inequality sign, what's the alligator chomping? The x. So when I flip it around, alligator still needs to chomp the x. Everybody clear on that? All right, so then the other thing we got to do that we're really going to work with a lot today is checking to see if the inequalities are true or if the numbers they give us are solutions. So the way we do that, we got x equals 5, and we got this inequality right here. We're going to substitute. So the 5 goes in for x. So I got 5 plus 6 greater than 11. What's 5 plus 6? 11. So is that true? No. And this is where it gets kind of tricky sometimes. With an equation, that would be true, right? So that one's a no, because we got 11 greater than 11. 11 is not greater than 11. If we had a line underneath there, then it would be true. All right, so other one. X is 6. So I got 7 times 6 less than 45. 7 times 6, yeah, is 42. Is 42 less than 45? Yeah, so that one's a yes. That one's correct. Everybody see how that works? Relatively easy, right? You substitute in the number, then you just have to see if it's a true statement or not, if the alligator's chomping the correct thing. Okay? All right, you got 6 of them there. Y'all go ahead and try those. Same basic idea. It tells you what the variable is. You guys substitute, see if those give you true statements or true inequalities. So when I start calling on y'all, what I'm going to need is a yes or a no, whether it's true or not. Number 1. Jacob. Yes, he's correct. Put 11 in. That's going to be a yes. 11 plus 8 is 19. Since it's got the line underneath it, that works. Kyle, number 2. Yeah, that one, you don't even really have to do any math. We just know 12 is greater than 3, so that's a definite yes. Grade, number 3. That's a no. 13 minus 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. 1 most definitely is not greater than 13. Number 4. Right. That's a no. We got 16 less than 22 minus 8. 22 minus 8 is 14. 16 is not less than 14, so that's a no. Number 5. Sydney. No. We got 48 over 12, which we know is 48 divided by 12. That's 4. Not less than 3. Lily, number 6. That one is a yes. 10 plus 5, less than or equal to 20, so that's a yes. Okay? Everybody good on those? Those aren't so bad. That's the majority of what we'll be working with today, okay? What you need to realize, and let's go with number 2 here. I'll just flip it around. I've got f is less than 12, okay? How many numbers are less than 12? There are an infinite amount of answers. I could have 11.9999999. That's less than 12, right? I could have negative 365 billion. That's less than 12, isn't it? Everybody see what I'm saying? Any one of these, there's an infinite amount of possibilities to answer it. It just has to be true in that it's less than 12. Everybody clear on that? So there's not just one answer for any of these. All right, so the other thing we have to do is graph. Graphing is pretty easy. Anything you shade on your graph is part of what they call the solution set, or the answers. Like I said, that's an infinite amount of possibilities. So when we do greater than, what we are going to have is whatever the number is, it'll be on that number. There's going to be an open circle. Okay? Because if it's greater than, is it equal to that number? No. And that's what the open circle is showing. Less than works the same way. We're going to have an open circle. Greater than or equal to show that it's equal to, what it has is a filled in circle. Same with less than or equal to. They have filled in circles. Everybody good with that? So if the inequality has a line underneath it, it's filled in circle, no line underneath, open circle. Okay? Then the other part of the graph is going to be an arrow. So if I've got greater than, that's a greater than symbol, right? Which way is my arrow pointing? To the right. Look, I put an arrow here so we can see how that lines up. But the pointy part of our inequality sign is like the pointy part of an arrow. Everybody clear on that? That means we've got an arrow that goes to the right. Greater than or equal to, same idea, arrow going to the right. Less than You know, if we got a less than symbol's pointed that way, it's like having an arrow that's pointed to the left. Okay? So that's, whoops. That's what it's going to have, arrow. That's a very poorly drawn arrow. Okay? Everybody see how that works, though? The inequality sign points to the direction the arrow is going to go. Whether, if there's a line underneath it, filled in circle, no line, open circle. Everybody good with that? Any questions on that? You see how this is pretty easy if you remember it, right? The other main thing we have to remember is when we graph them, I cannot graph this inequality right here. The inequality I need to graph has to be like that. I got to flip it around. Variable has to be on the left for the graph. Everybody got that? We have to have variable on the left. Otherwise, if you look what I wrote in red, which way is my arrow going to point? Well, to the right. If we look at the one before in green, if we go by the inequality sign, it's got an arrow pointing to the left, doesn't it? To have it be accurate, we got to flip it around so the variable is first. All right, so I'm going to show you number 7, and then y'all can do the rest. We got 11, open or closed circle. Open, there's no line underneath it, it's just greater than. So we got open circle on 11. And which way is my arrow point? To the right. That's it. All right, everybody see what I'm saying, how this is not bad at all, right? Y'all do the other 5. Main thing I need to know when I call on you, open or closed circle, and which way is it pointing? All right, great. Number 8. Open or closed circle? That is incorrect. Sydney. Number 8. Yeah. Closed circle to the left is correct. All right, so remember, it's got the line underneath. That's why it's a closed circle. When we graph this, variable has to come first. So we got to flip it around. That then has the arrow pointing to the left. Okay? David, number 9. Open to the left is correct. Number 10, Mason. Open to the left. This is going to be rough in a couple of the classes when they don't know lefts or rights. Robert, number 11. No. Board, 11. Closed to the right is correct. We got to flip it around. So we got a closed circle that ends up pointing to the right. And number 12, Sarah E. Closed circle to the right is correct. It's 4.5. You just have to know that's in between 4 and 5. And we got that to the right. Any questions on those? We'll work more with graphing and stuff tomorrow. Just wanted to get all this kind of out of the way at once. So. There are several questions that you'll see on your test, on the EOG, on the check-in possibly, where it gives you an inequality and asks you which graph matches with it. All right, so let's look at these. Number 13, McDonald family spends no more than $150 for groceries each week. So I'm just going to use X for each of these, okay? And the variable doesn't really matter. We got X. What's the number for number 13? 150. All right, no more. Could they spend 150 exactly? Would that fit no more? Yeah. So it could be equal. Could they spend more than or less than? Less than. No more means less than or equal to, okay? So we'd have filled in circle at 150, arrow to the left. Everybody see how that works? Number 14. Got my X. Number's 10. At least. If it's at least, can he spend 10 exactly? Yeah. Or earn, I guess. Could it be more than or less than? More. So we got greater than or equal to. So we got filled in circle at 10, arrow to the right. Make sense? All right, y'all do last two. Number 15, let's start with the inequality symbol. Who can give me the correct inequality symbol? Sydney? Greater than is correct. If she has to score higher than a 92, she can't score 92 exactly. It has to be greater than. All right, so we're going to have 92 on our graph. Who can tell me, open or closed, in which direction? Jeremiah? Open to the right is correct. Number 16, it takes Alex fewer than 15 minutes to walk to school. Alex, what inequality symbol should I have? Nope. Kyle? Less than. Fewer is going to be less than. Fewer than 15 doesn't mean equal to 15. So we got 15 as our number. Forward, open or closed, and which way? Open and to the left. All right, any questions on this? Y'all, that's close to everything we got to do with this. We will have to solve some inequalities, and we'll get to that like starting tomorrow. Otherwise, it's just going to be getting a little more practice with a lot of this stuff. It's not that bad, is it?